The collapse is complete. The Dodgers are now looking up at the San Diego Padres in the National League West after getting swept by a fourth-place Angels team. Shohei Ohtani reacts to his start. The Dodgers finding more ways to lose baseball games. And it's not funny at this point. It's starting to get ugly. And we're going to talk about it next on the Dodgers Nation postgame show.
It's time for Dodger baseball.
Welcome to Dodger Stadium.
This is the golden age of Dodger baseball. The Dodgers are building a dynasty.
You got it, Warrior Parade. We got it, Parade. The Dodgers punch back and head to the championship series. Ohtani starts the 50-50 club. Milky Magic. Freeman gets the ball to right field. She is gone. Start the party, Los Angeles. Your Dodgers have won the World Series.
Think blue, bleed blue, and I'm out.
What is up, Dodgers Nation, and welcome to the Dodgers Nation postgame show, the #1 Dodgers postgame show on YouTube. My name is Doug McKain. I cover the Dodgers for Dodgers Nation. You can follow me on X and Instagram at DMAC_LA. Thanks for rocking with us after another incredibly frustrating Dodgers loss. Another L to the Angels in the Big A. The Dodgers lose by 1 run. They fall again by 1 run. They lose by a final score of 6-5, and they now drop to 68-53 on the season, and they've officially completed the collapse after having a 9-game lead in the National League West on July 3rd. The Dodgers are trailing the San Diego Padres in the division by 1 game with 41 games left to play, and 6 games against San Diego in the next 13 days. And tonight, I think, was more of the same from this Dodgers team. It really epitomized kind of what this team has been for a long time now. Let's be honest. This is not a 1 week, 2 week, 2 day, 3 day, 4 day slump. No, this is a Dodgers team that has been slumping and struggling to consistently win baseball games for a long time. They have not won 3 games in a row since that White Sox series in early July. This team is 12-21 since the 4th of July. They have gone 4-6 their last 10. The Padres, after a incredible deadline where they proved they were all in, tons of aggressive moves, Laureano and Mason Miller and O'Hearn, all these guys going out there and they're hitting. For me, even is it hitting. And this Dodgers team has just absolutely collapsed. And they continue to snatch defeat out of the jaws of victory. And watching this team implode every single game, it feels like, with a bad bullpen performance, it feels like you're watching an A24 horror film in slow motion, and you know at some point the other team is going to come back and find a way to win. The Dodgers have blown 4 saves in their last 7. And what really pains me about this, and we'll get into the nitty-gritty, we'll get into all the nitty-gritty. I'm sure there's going to be lots of extremely level-headed, calm, reasonable, rational takes down below in the comment section, right? Hey, sound off, right? This is what this show is for, right? But what really irks me about this is that this was completely avoidable. And yes, one big bullpen arm, one corner outfield bat is not going to be the difference between this team winning or losing the World Series, but it could have at least kept them in a better spot right now while they wait for some of these guys to come back, while they wait for Tanner Scott and Michael Kopech and Kirby Yates. Guys like David Bednar and Ryan Helsley, even that second tier of reliever would have been a better option than what Brock Stewart has been. He's not going to be back for a couple of weeks. And that was your big deadline acquisition. This team needed to be more aggressive at the trade deadline. And yes, the internal pieces have not performed well. And really across the board, this team, save for the Shohei Ohtanis and Will Smiths and some of these other guys, Yoshinobu Yamamoto, have underperformed. The new signings haven't done enough. The existing guys have had some down years. And you talk about that World Series hangover. Yeah, it is sunglasses and Advil, and the division is about to get mad real. And are we just content with a one title? Right? Is that what it is? I mean, the saying is, what's the saying? Oh, there's always next year. There's always next year. For the Dodgers, is it, oh, there was last year? Is that what it's about? There was last year? Last time I checked, for an elite organization, you haven't won back-to-back titles. And you had a great opportunity to do that. And in this game, we're going to break down the specifics of it. What was so frustrating is, yes, you guys are going to pin this on Dave Roberts, and I think that J.B. Buckner was atrocious once again tonight. The umping was bad, and it's not the reason why they lost. And yesterday, they got a gift from the home plate ump that extended the game on the Ben Casperius pitch that should have been ball 4 that would have won the game for the Angels. But I think if you're just searching for something and Dave Roberts is going with the pitchers that he has available on his current roster, and there's a lot of guys that aren't coming through, so that was a good night to, hey, the Shohei strike out late in the game. That's a good opportunity to say, hey, like, let's just stir it up, man. Let's go out there and show this team that has lacked a lot of consistency that, hey, at least I'm going to go out there, I'm going to kick some dirt around, I'm going to show some fire, I'm going to get my guys going. Because this team from top to bottom, it's been losing whack-a-mole. And like I said, that's what's so frustrating about this team. That's what makes you want to pull your hair out when you watch this team, because today you had decent starting pitching until Shohei had some issues later in the game. And you had an offense that had some opportunity to score more runs. They weren't able to do it. And then Edgardo Henriquez there in the 8th inning, after Robleski walked the first 2 hitters, they get the lead runner at third after more bunts, and Freddie's able to get the lead runner. Mookie makes a really nice athletic play to stretch out to get Teodosio. And then with the run on first and second, Joe Adell, he hits one that goes off Edgardo Henriquez's glove that would have easily been an inning-ending 4-3 double play. And yes, it's an instinctive play. You really can't blame Edgardo Henriquez there. But where you can blame Edgardo Henriquez and whatever to be Will Smith or the sequencing is just look at the at-bat to Logan O'Hoppe. Yes, we get it. You can pump 103. You have got serious velocity, but this is the big leagues. And he has to realize that these guys can time a bullet. And you look at the at-bat to Logan O'Hoppe that ultimately decide the game. The Dodgers clinging, absolutely desperately clinging onto a 5-4 lead. They just missed the opportunity to get that inning double play. Really nice job there by Miguel Rojas to hustle just to keep it on the dirt. But what it came down to is O'Hoppe at the plate. You had runners in scoring position, the go-ahead runner, the tying runner, and he threw him 5 pitches in that at-bat. 5 pitches in that at-bat to Logan O'Hoppe. 5 pitches. Sinker 102, 4-seamer at 100, 4-seamer at 102 for ball 2. 4th pitch, a sinker right at the heart of the plate, right in the heart of the plate. Then he fouls off to make it 2-2. Then on the 5th pitch of the at-bat, 103, middle. He singled to center. That scored Moore and Ward, and the Angels go on top 6-5, and that was ball game. Might as well been a walk-off right there. That was the ball game. I can't explain or understand the sequencing in that at-bat. If you're going to throw a big league hitter 5 straight fastballs, even if they're 100+ miles per hour, if you're not going to mix it up, they are going to find a way to put bat to ball and make something happen. And that's what they did right there. So it's the small things. It's everything. It's not being able to make small defensive plays. It's not sequencing correctly. I mean, why don't you throw at least one of those cutters in that at-bat? I just can't understand that. Because the previous at-bat, when Rengifo was at the plate, he struck him out swinging. He threw him 4 pitches, all cutter. So I can't understand how you go from one at-bat where it's all cutter and you have success, and then the next at-bat, it's all fastball. And I get it. Guys have different strengths and weaknesses, and Ohtani does struggle with velocity, whatever it may be, but still, these are big leaguers. It's tough to make sense of some of these things, and this is a Dodgers team that really should be scoring more runs, and I think you look at earlier in this one, they were able to get the offense going. I mean, the first inning, it looked like, okay, cool. The Dodgers are pissed tonight. The Dodgers are mad. I don't care what they keep saying in these post-game pressers from the clubhouse. They keep saying that they're not looking at the standings. They keep saying that it doesn't matter what other teams do. It's all about what this team does. But it looked like they had kind of noticed that the Padres did beat the Giants this afternoon, and that if they lost, they would be in second place. That's how they came out there in the first inning. Shohei Ohtani triples to right. Mookie Betts, next batter, he singles to left to score. Ohtani. Dodgers go up 1-0 early. Couple batters later, Will Smith, he crushes a 2-run bomb for his 15th dinger of the season. That made a 3-0 game. Then you still had some more opportunities to score some more runs. Teo singled, and then a couple batters later, Call, Walker, then Freeland, he struck out looking, but the Dodgers got 3 runs on 4 hits. It looked like it was going to be an angry win with runs early. And then for the first time this season against the Angels, the Dodgers were able to keep the Angels at 0 runs after 1 inning. Shohei Ohtani goes 1-2-3 in the first. He strikes out Mike Trout looking. It was a great moment. Gets him to take that sweeper. It was nasty, and it looked like it was going to be LA's night. But then Shohei Ohtani showed that it's going to still be a work in progress to get him back to being that dominant starter. Bottom of the second inning, gave up a home run to Ward. A little later in that inning, Rengifo hit a sac fly. They made a 3-2 game. And then the Dodgers were able to score some more runs. Give Mookie Betts credit in the 4th inning. After Call reached on an infield single, Freeland drew a walk. Then a couple batters later, Ohtani walked to load the bases. And then Mookie, he singled to right to give the Dodgers a 4-2 lead. Then a couple batters later, Will Smith, he walked with the bases loaded to make it a 5-2 game. And then Teoscar Hernandez, another opportunity to come through with the bases loaded to get a nasty, angry blowout win. This team needs a blowout win. The bullpen has been so inconsistent. Like I said, it's like an A24 movie, A24 horror movie right now, because when you watch a horror movie, you know that, hey, Michael Myers is going to come out at some point and do some work. You know what's going to happen, but you watch it anyway because you're like, okay, there's going to be someone's going to get killed or something. You know what's going to happen. You still watch. And that's how it feels like when you watch the Dodgers right now. You know that the bullpen's going to come in, and it just feels like something good isn't going to happen. So this is where the Dodgers offense needs to pick them up and score runs in bunches and have a big inning, and you give yourself that cushion. Because Teoscar Hernandez had a perfect opportunity to do just that in that at-bat. Goes up ahead in the count 2-0. Later in the count, it's ends up a 3-2 count in the 7th pitch. He strikes out swinging on a four-seam fastball up and in. Those are the kind of moments that Teo had last year where it was big moments. And, yeah, he had 2 RBIs his last game. He's looked better. But you need guys to come through with the bases loaded. They had gone 0 for 8 with the bases loaded in their last 3 games heading into that. I mean, just no success with the bases loaded. And then where the Angels came alive there was in that 5th inning. Ohtani gets a 1-out single against Shohei. Then Teodosio singled to right. So back-to-back 1-out singles. Then Neto, he doubles to left. And just like that, it's a 5-4 game. So my question is, Shohei, the goal was to get through 5 today. He ends up going 4 1/3 innings, gave up 4 runs on 5 hits, 7 strikeouts, no walk. He tossed 80 pitches today. So a season-high 80 pitches for Shohei. You could view that as a positive for sure. His previous high had been 54 that he made in his last start, so it's good to see him get stretched out. And the truth is, they were in a position where you really needed a lot from Shohei to make sure that you kept this Angels offense at bay and you gave this Dodgers team the best opportunity to utilize that bullpen. But just like that, it's a 5-4 game. Shohei's out of the game, and it just felt like, hey, blink of an eye, oh my goodness, like this Angels team, who, by the way, is an under 500 team in fourth place, that they, yes, treated this like it was their World Series. Yes, they wanted to beat the Dodgers, but they did, and the bottom line is just not enough from the offense, not enough timely hitting, not enough execution, and then in the later stages of this game, you just weren't able to put together enough quality at-bats to win this game. And it's extremely frustrating because this team is better than what their record says they are. On paper in the offseason, it was a team that should be in a position to run away with the division, but it just has not been the case. And just, you look at this lineup, I mean, like seventh inning, Smith draws a walk, and a couple batters later, Alex Call grounds out to shortstop. I mean, I'm getting McKinney vibes. I'm getting like kind of that old vibe that we kind of saw a couple years ago where it looked like the talent at the end of the roster wasn't as good as it needed to be. I mean, I think you look at where this team is and the guys that are coming up in big spots and not coming through, that it really just is bothersome, and it makes you think, like, what is happening here? And then we talked about the eighth inning and the top of the ninth inning, Mookie Betts. He gave it a ride against Kenley Jansen. It goes to the warning track, and the Dodgers go down in order. But, man, this is frustrating. It is absolutely frustrating. I want to hear from you guys. We'll get a couple comments here. We'll hear from Shohei Ohtani here on the Dodgers Nation post-game show. We've got watching the Dodgers right now is like reheating McDonald's fries. Dodgers fans 81, the first 3 months of the season, the Dodgers would get hits and runs in the 7th, 8th, and 9th inning. Now, not so much. Yeah, I mean, we broke it down in the afternoon show. First 88 games of the season, the Dodgers have the best offense in baseball, averaging 5.61 runs per game. And since the beginning of July, they have been right there towards the bottom in a lot of different offensive categories. And tonight was another example of, yeah, you scored a good amount of runs, but with the state of this bullpen, like guys like Edgardo Henriquez, guys like Alex Vesia, who's been taxed, just the truth is, let's call it what it is. I hate this team, D-Mac. Come on, Adam. Hate's a strong word. Patrick Brown says scale 1 to 10 for the panic meter, sitting at 8.5 right now. Yeah, give me your panic meter number on a scale of 1 to 10. I'm sure there'll be a lot of very rational ones, for sure. In a brawl, the Padres are tougher, Dodgers are soft. Really, how tough were the Padres last year when they went 24 innings without scoring a run? How tough was that Padres team? Last time I checked, the Dodgers have 8 World Series titles, and the Padres have 0. So, we'll see. Let's see. And I do think that the Dodgers going up against the Padres is going to be the best possible thing for them, because at some point, even if you're tired, even if you're fatigued, even if there's a World Series hangover, which I think is completely overblown, it's just guys not going out there and executing to their best ability. Look, the bullpen just does not have the pieces. Like, let's just be honest. Like, the bullpen does not have the requisite talent right now to be effective against other teams. And that's something that could have been avoided. That really is. And it's not, here's the thing, just because the guys that they signed in the offseason have not worked out, is that really a reason to not bolster this pen when you have a team that is in a really good position with a lot of guys over 30 to go out there and win another World Series title? I mean, at this point, it does feel like there could be some regret in not being more aggressive to add another competent reliever. At this point, the guy they traded for is on the shelf. We don't even know what the status is of him, but Shohei Ohtani, he spoke to reporters moments ago in Anaheim, broke down his start. Here's what Shohei had to say, and then after, we're going to get more of your comments here on the Dodgers Nation postgame show.
Well, Shohei, just when you look at this outing, obviously, the goal was to get through 5. Unable to do that, but you did get the pitch count up. Just how much of a grind was the outing like this today for you?
今日 5回まで行きましたけども、球数も上がって、打線の難しさとかちょっと今日は感じる登板でしたか。
5回はやっぱり追い込んでから、もう少しこうしっかりと空振りが取れるゾーンに投げたかったなっていう、三振の取れる場面だったので、やっぱり、バットに当てられてしまうとああいうフライのようなヒットが出てしまったりするので、そこら辺やっぱりこうもう少し丁寧に、いければベストだったかなと思います。
Yeah, I just couldn't finish off hitters in the fifth, and they did a good job of putting the balls in play, and that's what happens. So next time I got to do a better job.
Considering just the tough losses, the frustrating one, does it feel like the margin of error right now is very small, especially on the mound or on both sides of the ball?
今厳しい試合とか負けてて、ちょっとチームにプレッシャー、バッティングもピッチングも感じてますかね。
そうですね。接戦でこう、いいゲームというか、惜しいゲームができている一方で勝ちきれてない、部分はやっぱりみんなこう、プレッシャーというか焦りみたいなものがあるのかなと思うので、また明日休み挟んで大事な試合が続くので、切り替えてしっかり集中したいなと思ってます。
Does it feel good to lose close games? It's tough mentally, but we have an off day tomorrow, so the plan is to regroup, refresh, and get ready for the weekend.
How disappointing is it to have dropped down to second place, especially how big the lead was 6 weeks ago?
1位で結構大差のリードで2位に落ちたっていうのは結構気持ち的にもショックですかね。
そうですね。どうですかね。負けが込むとやっぱりチームの雰囲気というかね、こういろいろやりたいことが噛み合わなかったりすると思うので、そこら辺みんなでミーティングしながらこう工夫はしてますけど、なかなかそれがいい結果というか、勝ちという結果につながってないのかなと思います。
Obviously, it doesn't feel good to fall in second place and to lose a lot of these games. We're doing everything in our power, just having close meetings, doing everything that we can to try to right the ship. So, we just have to do a better job.
Was fatigue a factor for you in the fifth inning, or how did you feel with your pitch count getting up there and pitching that deep for the first time this year?
5回は疲れを感じましたか？
疲れは感じなかったですね。むしろいい感覚では投げれ、最初の打者に対してもいい感覚で投げれたと思うので、さっき言った通り、2ストライク後の決め球っていうのが甘めに入ってこうヒット2本、出てた感じなので、そこがやっぱもったいなかったなと思います。
No fatigue. Felt pretty good facing the first hitter, but I just couldn't finish off the other hitters, and that's what happens.
There's been a lot of headlines about this lawsuit that was filed in Japan or in Hawaii. Has that been a distraction for you this week?
ちょっとハワイの件でちょっといろいろありますけども、何かちょっと雑音っていうのはショーの中で感じますか？
でもフィールドに集中したいなというか、今日というかこのチーム自体のこう負けも続いているので、本当にチーム全体として早く一勝してこう一戦一戦勝ち切りたいなとは思ってます。
I'm focused on what the team is doing and doing everything in my power to make sure we bring a W on the field.
Shohei, can you talk about your emotion, what it felt like stepping back onto the mound here at Angel Stadium again?
ですね。またアナハイムでマウンドに立つてその気持ちっていうのはどうでしたか？
そうたくさんのこう思い出があるスタジアムなので、もちろん好きな球場の一つですし、その中で今日登板できたっていうのは一つ自分のステップアップとしてもいい一日だったなとは思います。
I had a lot of good memories being on this stadium. It's one of my favorite stadiums to play on, and so it was a really important mark for me to be able to pitch on this mound again.
Can you describe just you against Trout? Obviously, we saw in the World Baseball Classic, but how you were able to just punch him out those times today?
今回WBC と似たような場面で今回もトラウトに対して三振取れたっていうのはどう考えてますか？
そうです。2打席に関してはしっかりこう投げ切れてたのかなとは思うので、さっきも言った通り投げ切れた打席投げ切れない打席でやっぱりこう結果が正反対に出ている試合だったなと思います。
just felt like I just executed really well 2 at-bats against him. And just looking back at my outing today, it's about execution. When I didn't execute, they took advantage.
So there was Shohei Ohtani, who continues to work his way back out there on the mound. I think there were some really bright spots. Throwing 101, the way he had the sweeper going, the strikeouts to Mike Trout, he was very effective. He's still ramping up and stretching out. He's getting that pitch count up today. Was another really good example of what he can look like on the mound. I think at the end of the day, I will say, I think it's pretty obvious at this point. This is not, for TV or for theater. I think that you need to pitch Shohei Ohtani early in a series just to have him available as a closer late in a series. And I don't really want to even talk about the postseason at this point because we got to focus on the division right now. But I do think that with the lack of explosive arms and reliable arms and right now, just kind of the way things are playing out, I expect Blake Trinan to turn things around. I mean, he already kind of has, but I expect good things from Blake Trinan, Michael Kopech, Tanner Scott, and Kirby Yates. We still have to see what they're capable of. And Alex Vesia, hopefully he can fuel that tank back up and crush some Red Bulls and get back to the Alex Vesia that we know and love. But I do think that you almost have to consider Shohei Ohtani late in the series, potentially WBC style. I really, truly do. And tonight was another night where it was great to see him hit. It was great to see him pitch. But when they lose, it's tough to really celebrate it as much because of the current situation that the Dodgers are in. But let's get to your comments, guys. We got Nico Suave. If San Diego doesn't win the World Series, your whole season was a giant fail. AU Potter 2584 today can easily be fooled by good framing, and he'll then call strikes on balls way outside of the strike zone. But Will's framing is much worse than the opponent, especially on his glove side. Yeah, I don't think it was the best night from a game calling, a pitch sequencing standpoint. So I think that is certainly a fair take that you just have to kind of admit there. Some more here. We've got, who else? Welcome to the Dodgers Nation postgame show. Fernando Jackson Tatis Merrill Jr. quoting me saying the Padres don't have a World Series title. Yeah, bro's pissing his pants. If I'm pissing in my pants, the Padres offense literally took a dookie in their pants during the NLDS when you went 24 innings and choked away a 2-1 lead in that series. So, I mean, look, Padres fans, I'm sure the parade down at Gaslamp is awesome. Your first place lead. The Dodgers not in first place for the first time since late April this season. So, look, I'm not really focused on the Padres too much. I think that right now what this Dodgers team needs to do, they need to get back to basics. And one thing that I want to point out that someone pointed out in the comments is you mentioned Teoscar Hernandez's defense. And we've seen that all season long. Teo struggle just with general mobility out there. You saw play tonight that when Shohei was out there, he just has to do a better job in making the routine plays, getting to balls, making the right decisions out there. But the truth is Teoscar Hernandez in right field is a -8 ounce above average in the 2 percentile. He is statistically, by every single metric, one of the worst defenders in the outfield in Major League Baseball. Tonight was another prime example. And one thing I want to say is that this is a team that, yes, they don't like to make rash decisions. They don't like to be overly emotional or make panic moves. But I still believe that they should strongly consider making a move that they should have already made a long time ago. And that is trying to solidify this outfield defense. When Tommy Edman gets back, I think he's going to help things, but even his ankle has had some issues. Mookie Betts in right field would help this team in a lot of different ways, right? It would help their defense. It would help their just entire alignment by having the ability to rotate and be flexible with guys in the infield. And look, Mookie, I love you. I really do. I mean, he's been fantastic since the ovation. He was supposed to be off today and had a couple big hits, and he had some RBIs. He was great tonight. And I think that we saw he can still play right field. This team is in desperate need of something to shake them up. And right now, Teoscar Hernandez in right field absolutely terrifies me. It really does. Because you need a guy with a better arm that can prevent guys going from doubles to triples and hitting those cutoff men. Last year they won the World Series with him in left and Mookie Betts in right field. I think that that's something that you have to explore is what can you do to optimize this current group. And right now, I mean, that's some porous defense by Teoscar Hernandez. There's no way to sugarcoat it. Like the defense, yes, he was dealing with a groin injury. Yes, he was dealing with a foot injury. But even Teo, when he's fully healthy, is not a great defender. It's the fact that he can hit, and then you live with the defense because of how clutch he is, how productive he's at the plate. But yeah, I think you have to consider the right field situation with Teoscar Hernandez. I really, really do. I mean, what are we even talking about at this point where you have guys that essentially are playing out of position that could present a better defensive option for this team? That's what really, really frustrates me, is that the internal options for that exist. So that's something that I think that you have to factor in as well. But now let's hear from Dave Roberts. I'm going to go to you guys. Here we go. D-Mac, don't sugarcoat that. I'm not. You guys are just going off on the comments. Welcome to the Dodgers Nation post-game show. Feeling it. All right, let's go. Let's do this. The arch change. Angels sweeping the season from the fake LA team of Brooklyn is better than winning the World Series. Angels are your daddy. Just think about that's going to be one of the biggest loser mindsets I've ever heard in my entire life. Enjoy fourth place. Enjoy Cancun. Enjoy never playing meaningful, relevant baseball after the 4th of July. I mean, the fact that an Angels fan says that beating a team in the regular season is better than a World Series, that tells you everything you need to know about that franchise's standards, their expectations. I mean, that is just an absolute, that's actually makes me kind of feel bad for you, to be honest with you. You'd rather beat the Dodgers. Like, at least got to give it to the Padres. They'll never admit that being the Dodgers in the division would be that much to them, but they're actually, Angels fans are just straight up out and open about that. It's crazy. Oh my goodness. That is, Brianna says, D-Mac, press the life alert button now. Come on, Bilal K, you're delusional. We got D-Mac has his finger on the nuclear button. I'm not really panicking that much, to be honest with you. I think that this team is going to truly have to dig deep, and I think through this you can find your identity. Like, let's be serious here. I think you look at the wild card situation, you need to play good baseball to just make sure that you're in the mix, because if you look at the standings right now, the Dodgers, and it's not fun to look at, but to look at the fact that the Dodgers are in the wild card spot on MLB.com, it's definitely not fun to look at. But right now, you got the Cubs, who have the same amount of wins as the Dodgers with 68, but 2 less losses. And then the Mets, they're 4 games back, and you're basically 3.5 games back there. So, yeah, if the Dodgers had a real slide here, I mean, you're talking about a pretty competitive wild card, and you definitely don't want to fall out of that. I mean, that would be truly one of the most epic collapses that we've seen from any team in Major League Baseball history for a team like that. But I still believe that this team is going to get it together. I believe in the talent of this group. It's just it's a rough stretch. They need to figure things out. And I think if you want to spin a positive of this, is that this organization, sometimes you got to kind of hit rock bottom with certain things to make a dramatic change. And I think that they're going to kind of take a hard, long look at a lot of different things right now, and we could see some changes, whether it be guys changing positions defensively, whether it be different roles out of the pen, things like that. I mean, we'll see just kind of what this team looks like. But, man, tomorrow is not going to be a fun off day with the Dodgers looking up to the Padres in the division. But now let's hear from your favorite Dave Roberts on tonight's loss. The Dodgers have now lost 7 straight to the Angels. That sets a new record that dates all the way back to last season. Here's Doc.
Shohei, obviously, ahead of the game, you talked about there are going to be times in which you push different starters, which Shohei not likely, but for him to get to 80 pitches, was that a way of kind of pushing him to hope see him get through 5?
It was. I thought there was still more in there from Shohei to get through that 5th inning. obviously Neto did a good job with that slider, that two-strike slider for the double, trying to get him through Neto to get to, Banda to get him out of the inning. But, to start that fifth inning, I felt that he was throwing the ball well enough to get through it.
Is it starting to feel like just you guys, of course, have had opportunities. It honestly kind of felt like y'all were going to take this win, unfortunately falling short there in the end. But is it feeling like, is that feeling starting to compound and kind of building a little bit more frustration when you guys are so close to picking up the wins?
Yeah, this was tough, obviously, because of the result. But, I thought tonight I liked the way we played. I thought the at-bats were really good. We get robbed on a great play from the Pajes ball over the wall. So I thought that across the board, I thought we did a good job competing. And, even in that eighth inning right there, that eighth inning, the ball off of Adele's bat was right at Miggy, but it kicks off of Edgardo, and that's baseball. And it just seems like right now that's the way things are going, and that's part of it. But, tonight in a vacuum, I thought we played well.
Could you have envisioned 5 weeks ago when you guys were 9 games up in the division being in this kind of spot now where you have even a little bit of ground to make up?
Absolutely not. Absolutely not. We're where we're at. We put ourselves in this spot. But, no, I wouldn't have expected us to be in second place right now.
Do you think Hoppy was timed up for Enriquez's fastball there in the eighth inning?
Yeah, he was dead red, and he just timed it up, and I didn't see it yet, but it seemed like he was middle. But yeah, he was locked in on the heater. Yeah.
Had you gotten through the eighth, who would have had the ninth?
It would have probably been Diaz. I think that just kind of given Blake's usage, just kind of really didn't want to pitch Edgardo either with the up-down yesterday, but, it's kind of where we're at right there. And I felt that the way, Robo was throwing the baseball, he was the most rested guy. And, I just didn't, and I know he'd love to have the 2 walks back to start the inning, but, at that point in time, I got to make a decision.
When your bullpen's going through a stretch like this where, even when you guys are leading late in games, there's kind of this feeling of like it could happen again. How do you kind of break out of that kind of mood, I guess? Where
it's something that we're not really accustomed to be quite honest. I just think it's one of those kind of funks we're in where there's some bad walks in there, maybe some sequencing, things like that. But at the end of the day, we're just not kind of finishing games when we have an opportunity. Or, on the offensive side, being able to tack on and give ourselves a little bit more breathing room. You have a 5-4 lead, and obviously, the kid makes a nice play out in center field, but, 3 would have been a lot nicer. But that's baseball. But as far as the pen, these are the guys we have. And I think for me, it's just kind of trying to put guys in the best position, but also being mindful of how much they've been used. So it sort of goes back to the starter and trying to push them if I get an opportunity to do so.
A stretch like this, do you kind of have to be to kind of keep track of the mood of the team and the vibe in the clubhouse? I mean, it's a veteran team. You won a championship, but stuff goes wrong during the course of the season. How do you?
Well, I think the thing that I appreciate about this club is there's no finger pointing, there's accountability, and I think that we do a good job of looking at ourselves and saying, hey, what can I do better? And we can all be better. So it's not a lack of care, and I talk about preparation all the time. So I know it's not complacency. I mean, our guys are playing their tails off, and it's going to turn, but I know Max said it yesterday. I've said it before. You can't feel sorry for yourself. And that's something that I don't expect from our guys. And we've got a big series coming up. And those guys are playing great baseball. It's going to be, crazy at Chavez Ravine, and our guys will be ready.
Can a team care too much?
I don't think so. I think that, there's a balance of trying too hard, pressing, that kind of thing. But I think that with the guys that we have in the room, I don't think that caring too much is a problem with our guys. I think that that's a good thing.
What's the wine?
It's a gift. Haven't opened it yet.
Do you know what it is?
No. I'm not going to open it right now, Dylan.
Are you going to like drink it all tonight?
Possibly.
Does it feel like the off day's coming at the right time just for a mental, physical reset for the guys then to take on a big series with the Padres?
I think more physical. I think, getting Blake reset, getting Kasperius, getting Vesia, getting Dreyer, getting Treinen. I think for me, I'd like to get back to playing. I think most of the guys would, but I think if you look at kind of how to win a baseball game, getting our pen back in line to support Clayton on Friday is probably the best, way to do it.
So there was Dave Roberts, and a little light moment about the wine. I don't think that you guys are very interested in hearing anything about that. It did look like there was a stretch where Anthony Banda got the Dodgers out of an absolute mess there in the fifth inning, and Justin Robleski looking pretty solid early on. The game sped up on him. I mean, you give a couple of walks up, you can't find the strike zone, and then you trust Edgardo Henriquez, who does not have a lot of experience, and he just can't execute. I still cannot understand why you went with those 5 straight fastballs. Logan O'Hoppe was sitting on it, dead red, as Dave Roberts said. Like I said at the top of the show, that sequencing does not make sense. And then let's talk about the Andy Pages would have been home run. I mean, it's kind of plays like that where it's like, man, like what did we do? Did we go under a ladder? Did we break a mirror? I mean, what exactly is going on with the luck of this team? Because that would have been a home run in 3 out of 30 ballparks. And give Teodosio, give him a lot of credit. He was able to take a really, really nice play on it, and he timed it really well. It was a big moment because if that goes out, that's a 2-run shot. It's a 7-4 game. Those are the moments the Dodgers are typically having when they have a good season. But tonight wasn't the night. We got Jason, Super Chat 999. Oh, but D-Mac gave the trades a B-. Friedman is stupid as hell. Should have paid the price no matter what the cost was for prospects. Get a whole new team. These guys don't want another ring. Okay, so I still think you look back, you look at the acquisition cost to get those guys and what they were supposed to bring to this team. It was a bet on the current roster. And right now, you could probably downgrade that to a D because of the fact that there aren't even really making a big impact, right? You got Brock Stewart is injured, Alex Call, really, okay, grinds out of bats, cool. They got Alex Call, is going to be a 4th outfielder anyway. But I think that, look, the truth of the matter is their stars need to be better and more consistent. And they're just not consistent game to game to game. Mookie has been below average most of this year. Freddie Freeman tonight, he goes 0 for 5 with a strikeout. Max Muncy, he's back, and then now he's gone. So, I mean, you need consistency from your offense. And the truth is that if the Dodgers just traded for Steven Kwan, would that fix the issues with the lineup top to bottom? I don't think it does. At the end of the day, you have so much invested at the top of your roster that they're going to have success because of them, or they will not because they struggled, right? I mean, you're not going to make it through multiple rounds against really good teams with Mookie, Freddie, and Shohei Ohtani, and Teoscar Hernandez, and Will Smith and Max Muncy slumping, right? But if half of those guys are hot at certain times and then it kind of interchanges through the series, then you have a pretty good chance to win. I think that the big issue I have is just not accepting that this bullpen was so overused. And it's so weird right now. So, like at the beginning of the season, it was the rotation was wiped out with an injury. So the bullpen pitched more. And then they now have the most innings pitched in Major League Baseball, 25 more than the next team. And then now it's flipped. Now the rotation has provided a boost, but the bullpen has been a tire fire of late. And then you can't overcome that. So, look, at the end of the day, the truth is, the reality with the 2025 Los Angeles Dodgers is this team, their success or failure is going to hinge on the guys they have on the roster now, and they need the guys to come back that have been injured or underperformed to be able to do that. And you're seeing what happens when you play deep into a postseason. And ask any of those guys, ask Alex Vesia, ask Blake Treinen, ask those guys that maybe pitched a little more than they should have as far as just how that impacted their body. but it led to a World Series title. So I guarantee you ask any of those guys, hey, would you do it again? Answer would be yes. Hey, even if it could impact you the next season, the answer would be yes. You're seeing that impact this year, and I think what the Dodgers are trying to do is say, okay, sure, you got a World Series hangover? Well, guess what? We'll bring in some guys that didn't even attend that party, right? Guys that didn't go out there and do 9 keg stands and 3,000 shots of Tito's and just go absolutely insane, right? Let's bring in guys that want to have one of those parties, but so far, those guys have not looked good. I know it's not fun right now. I still think if I had to choose between the Dodgers and the Padres for the rest of the year, I think this Dodgers team finds a gear. You dig deep. Let's not forget the starting rotation has Blake Snell back, Tyler Glasnow back, Yoshinobu Yamamoto, I think, could use a rest. And you have to just believe the talent. And look, this Angels team has been a thorn in their ass this season. Make no mistake about that. But still, this is a Dodgers team that they're going to be up for the challenge of the San Diego Padres. And a lot of these same guys are the guys that actually have World Series titles, right? Machado, Tatis, all these guys, no, they do not. So this team knows what they need to do to be better, more successful. And I think that this is the necessary wake-up call. And you almost have to hit rock bottom sometimes if you're a team. And unfortunately, injuries and underperformance has plagued this Dodgers team. But this team has championship DNA. And you got to believe in championship DNA. But all right, guys, let's hear from Mookie Betts, because I'm very excited about Mookie Betts, because that's something to feel good about. And I do think a position change could be in order. I would be shocked if he's playing shortstop all throughout the postseason. I would love to be wrong and he's great, but let's see what Mookie Betts had to say after this loss. And then it's going to be all your comments for the rest of the show.
Well, Mookie, it's clear the frustration, the losses, it's all compounding. Just how do you kind of describe when it feels, or how it feels considering you guys are finding yourself in situations, feels like you're going to take home the win, but ultimately just falling short there at the end?
I mean, it is what it is. Can't do anything about it now. Got to turn the page and get ready for San Diego. But, I mean, it's not like those guys aren't going out there giving it their all, so you can't sometimes you just don't get it done.
Does it feel like the things are getting closer just as a collective, whether it's you guys getting healthier, of course, bullpen arms going back, you getting on track offensively? Does it feel like you guys are getting closer to the level of play that you want to be at, though?
Yeah, I mean, for sure. I think we're constantly giving ourselves chances to win. So right now, that's really what we can ask for. Obviously, we would love to win all these games, but it just wasn't in the cards. And so, like I said, we just got to turn the page and get ready for San Diego.
Is it encouraging that some of the play has been better, or is it more frustrating that it's kind of been accompanied with like a lot of close losses like tonight?
Just depends on your perspective. But for me, I think it's encouraging to know that we're giving ourselves a chance to win every night. So it's not like we're going out there just laying eggs. You know, we're going out there and doing what we can. And we're just falling short right now, but who knows? In a couple of days, it could be the opposite.
How big is this series? Obviously, it's just a series in August, but considering now that you're looking up at the Padres and they're coming down for 6 games in 10 days.
I mean, you know, it's big, but I mean, it kind of is what it is. I mean, we can't make it more than what it is. It's another, like you said, another series in August. Obviously, we all know it's big and X, Y, and Z, but we can't make it that way. We have to just look at it as the same game as today and just play our game and not try and be too high or too low.
You talked about this particular series and how you feel, but how would you describe the way you guys have collectively been playing to now lose that NL West lead to the Padres?
I mean, it is what it is. I mean, we can't change it right now. I mean, we'll see when the next series comes, but I mean, we're playing pretty good, man. Like I said, we're giving ourselves chances to win, and that's the main thing we can ask for right now. It's just a chance to win, and we're not playing from behind all the time. You know, we're giving ourselves the lead, and those guys are battling. You know, there's been many times where we, as an offense, give them nothing to work with. So it's just a part of the flow of a season.
Now that this freeway series with the Angels, the 6 games this season is over, why do you think they had your number? You know, all 6.
I don't know. You know that more than me.
There's Mookie Betts. I feel like he's in a really good spot. And I know that this isn't a fun show to talk about the Dodgers falling out of first place since April, but Mookie hitting over 350 since last Monday, since the ovation. Tonight he goes 2 for 5 at 2 RBI. So I'm feeling really good about where his swing is at, where his timing is at. And that is major because this could have been a completely lost season for Betts, and it looks like he's turning things around offensively. You know what you're going to get from Shohei. You know Freddie Freeman. Sometimes he'll fall into an occasional slump, but he's Freddie Freeman. So, look, offensively, I still feel good about this core. I do want to read a comment, though, from Tatis Jr. 8775. Ha, ha, ha. He's actually making excuses, saying they're tired from last year, so soft. I'm not saying that. It's not an explanation. It's not an excuse. It's an explanation. And guess what? I've actually talked to these players about this. And guess what? These players, it's been a lot. That's all I'm going to say. It's been a lot, right? And that's coming from players themselves, right? And, yeah, you wouldn't know about that because the team that you are a fan of, they don't play deep into the postseason. You don't go all the way to the World Series. In fact, here's a fun fact. If you ever get an annoying Padres fan, if little brother ever wants to come out of his mom's basement and talk some crap, all you got to do to tell Padres fans to shut up is say, guess what? The Padres have exactly the same amount of postseason appearances as the Dodgers do World Series. Brother, you're not in this league. You're not sitting at this table. Let's see what you do this season, okay? But the Dodgers have 8 World Series titles, and the Padres have 8 postseason appearances. Brother, we're not in the same category. We're not in the same tax bracket, my man. It's all good. It's a great rivalry right now, but let's calm down, okay? Let's calm down, okay? Clippers fans aren't talking about Lakers when you talk about championships won and lost. I mean, let's just relax a little bit on the whole Dodgers-Padres thing, okay? We've got some more down below. D-Mag, what good does it have to have those starters back when the bullpen is now tired? Yeah, well, that's why. I mean, you need guys back for sure. Super chat, Padres are just a better team. LFGSD, SD for life. $2 from Jay. Hey, a lot of talk from these Padres fans. Let's see how it looks this weekend. The Dodgers 5-2 against San Diego this year. Take a look quickly at the pitching matchup before you get out of here. Take some more comments. You got Michael King going up against Clayton Kershaw on Friday. Dylan Cease versus Blake Snell on Saturday. And then Yu Darvish versus Tyler Glasnow on Sunday. So it's going to be a lot of fun. It's going to feel like a postseason atmosphere. Let's do some more comments before we head out of here. Alex Freeland is going to be something special. Some really nice athletic plays. I mean, where you get the lead runner. He's really good. I like Alex Freeland. I really do. We've got some more. Well, who cares? Tatis had 0 rings. Okay. No panic. It all comes down to who gets hot at the end of September. The postseason has changed. It's no longer like the 80s. That's from High Desert Reporter 760. Yeah, no doubt about it. It really is. I mean, but at the same token, you definitely want to put yourself in the best position to make a deep run in the postseason. This team needs to stack wins, and I guarantee you that their goal is to win that division. They absolutely want to win that division. We've got DFA Conforto. We've got all the Padres fans are in the chat. Hey, pumping up the numbers, man. Appreciate it. We'll put that money towards getting some more relievers in the offseason so we don't have to deal with this next year. D-Mac actually, yeah, absolutely. We've got Padres like to hang the wild card banners, LOL. We've got Pico Park. Okay. All right, guys, go more. Shouldn't they be at the parade? That's from our friend Adiquino. We've got MPLA. Teo's not an outfielder. He should be a DH, and obviously in another team. What a damn mistake to have re-signed him and make matters worse for 4 years. So there are some points there, absolutely, about the defense and how he would profile even as maybe even a first baseman for another team, right? But it is 2 more years after this, not 4. So, but it'll end up being 4 years total. So to your point, but no doubt about it. We got Padres, D-Mac Dodgers giving up more leads than an FBI informant. Jack Geese, just a little comment of the show. I love that. Tatis Jr.'s Mama's wears combat boots. Okay. You guys are going crazy. How serious is the Max Muncy injury? So that's a really good question. I mean, it was really interesting to see that lineup switch because it was supposed to be a planned day off for Mookie Betts, but Max Muncy was scratched from the lineup ahead of today's game with right side soreness. Dave Roberts said that it doesn't feel like the same as the last time he dealt with something similar as far as something a little more internal, a little more aggravating, and the hope is he can get back pretty soon. But yeah, I mean, that's another example of just another big drawback because he has been so pivotal to this offense, and this team needs him. There's no doubt about it. Where's my super chat, Dr. Villalobos? I'll read on tomorrow's show. I'm keeping up with on my phone. It's a pretty big, a lot of chats, but I promise I will read on tomorrow's show. So I apologize if I missed a super chat. We're gonna start to get a new system for that too. D-Mac, I still got the Dodgers winning the division. There we go. Come on, guys. Don't give up on your boys in blue, all right? Like Vin Scully said, the history of the Brooklyn and Los Angeles Dodgers, nothing ever comes easy. Donovan over on YouTube, 199. Padres are having a we are in first parade soon. Yeah, exactly, right? Get the merch. Go to Fanatics. Get the Padres are in first place. The Padres are in first place. And it's just a big day, right? Champagne celebration, and we know that. I mean, August 13, 2025, the Padres in first place in the NOS. Get the hat, get the shirt, get the commemorative ring and banner ready to go. But it's all fun and games, by the way, guys. Having a little fun on this one. But that's going to do it for this episode of the Dodgers Nation post-game show. Thanks for rocking with us here on the #1 Dodgers post-game show on YouTube. My name is Doug McKain. You can follow me on X and Instagram at DMac_LA. If you haven't yet, do me a huge favor. Hit the subscribe button, hit the notification bell. And everyday viewers, if you want to support the show, hit the like button and drop a comment on your way out. And yes, it's not fun. Final thought. It's go time. It's gut check time. It's time to roll. And it starts Friday. Dodgers Padres. Get your popcorn ready. It's going to feel like a postseason game. So lock in here at Dodgers Nation. And remember that nothing, absolutely nothing brings us together quite like Dodger baseball. And until next time, think blue, bleed blue, and I'm out.
The walk-off.
Hits the ball to right field. Start the party, Los Angeles. Your Dodgers have won the World Series.
And when the upcoming winter gives way to spring, rest assured, once again, it will be time for Dodger baseball.